It's been 2 years since the HotelPlanner Tour was in the Netherlands, and this week we mark its long-awaited return. A prolonged break, but nowhere near as lengthy as the gap since the last staging of this specific tournament. The Dutch Futures was last played back in 2009, and there can certainly be no better place to usher in a new era than at our host venue this time around. Situated about an hour south of Amsterdam, the Dutch is one of the country's premier golfing destinations. This stunning inland links design brings the Scottish experience to Dutch soil. That was the brief to course designer Colin Montgomery, and he certainly succeeded with this par 71 championship layout. This week we're getting to know an American on the HotelPlanner Tour, and someone who's been on an incredible journey, from humble beginnings to a player on an international pro tour.
My name is Nick Carlson, a rookie out here on the HotelPlanner Tour from Hamilton, Michigan. Golf journey started going to the golf course with my older brother Josh and my dad. We'd go out to Grand Valley State University, which is funny enough where I practice now when I'm home. That's kind of how the obsession with golf started, and you know, whether it's making a 2-footer or a 5-footer for a quarter, and dad taking us to lunch after, and it just kind of blossomed from there. And then I started playing tournaments at age 6, and the next thing I know, I'm going to the University of Michigan to play collegiately and then turn pro afterwards. So it's been kind of a crazy start, but it's been golf obsessed since day one when Dad brought me out. I'd say the idea of golf came easy, but I've put a lot of work in. Look, you got me, Rich. I've always been one to work hard. From a really early age, I would just go to the golf course and hang out all day while Mom and Dad worked, and it's never felt like work or hard work. It's just been my life.
After a successful college career, Nick tried his luck in the pro ranks, which didn't start quite as expected. In need of money, Nick started working as a coach and doing other odd jobs. But the hard yards paid off when, in 2024, he won a Next Golf Tour event on a golf simulator by holding a mini driver on the 16th to open the door to a career in golf once again.
Won $50,000 because of a crazy hole out with the famous mini driver, and was able to put a bunch of money in the bank and kind of invest in myself for that summer, quit the job, working with the kids, and try Q school again. And if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here.
And during Q school, after 4 rounds of golf, Nick would birdie his penultimate hole to make the cut and secure a HotelPlanner Tour card for the first time. An emotional moment.
I always knew I could do it.
No, it's special. I mean, never had status on a tour. Never knew if it would happen after 5 years of trying. So it changed my life. Being a no-name kid from a no-name town in Michigan, to be able to travel the world and play the HotelPlanner Tour is just, I'll never forget it. It's definitely the highlight of my golf career, and probably until I'm in a major or something like that, it'll hold strong. I mean, I'll be able to tell my kids whatever it is. So yeah, it's really, really cool.
After that life-changing week, the reality of being a touring pro on a worldwide tour and the expenses that incurred is something Nick would need to deal with.
90% of it is financial. If you can get to final stage, you can get through first stage, you have the game to be out here, then you have to be in the right headspace. And I think I have a good headspace on that. Then it's financial. And that's the hardest part. And I went back to the drawing board and was like, oh crap, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I really didn't. A couple people jumped on board from home right away. And yeah, it got me to South Africa. And if it wasn't for that, like, I don't know what I would have done.
American Nick Carlson was a delivery driver to make ends meet last year, but now he's got a status on the HotelPlanner Tour. 67 on day 3 for Nick.
You just hope it goes really well in those events that you get in. And I was lucky enough to get into 3 of them and had 2 really solid finishes to start the year. And you know, you're staring at a 12th of this cut and a 14th, and you're like, holy cow, we're 3 events in, I can do this. It's not easy. You make a cut, you get another week, kind of, that's my mentality. And it still holds true. Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
After all this, Nick was sat 19th on the road to Mallorca rankings, something he wasn't taking lightly as he focused on achieving a place at the grand final in Mallorca.
The game kind of progressed from getting enough points to what I thought in theory would be top 75. I accomplished that. So then my next goal was like, okay, let's try to get as many points to get the Mallorca. That would be really cool, top 45. And I'm really close to that. And so I think that's still kind of my goal. And once that happens, then we can get a new goal. The dream is, yeah, to try to graduate, but you gotta get to Mallorca first, and that's, you gotta handle that business.
And so to business, with an early Thursday morning tea time, as Carlson teed off on the 10th for round 1 of the Dutch Futures, alongside 2 previous HotelPlanner Tour winners, Dan Housing and Clement Chamerson. It proved a steady opening run for the American as he parred his first 5 holes. Patience was definitely a virtue, and it paid off. This fine approach to the green on the par 5 15th set up a birdie chance. And he would convert the putt to get some red on his scorecard. But it didn't trigger some much-needed momentum. Carlson made par on the next 3 holes to reach the turn at 1 under. The consistency continued until after a chip onto the green at the par 5 6th, he would convert the birdie putt, giving rise to hope of a strong finish to the round. Unfortunately, he would drop a shot at the very next hole, and with no further gains on the final 2, Carlson would reach the clubhouse with a respectable first round 1 under par. Elsewhere, round of the day belonged to Dermot McIlroy. This delightful birdie hole-out on the 18th helped him come home at 5 under par. After Nick's solid opening round, what better way to relax than to retire to a log cabin for dinner with his fiancée and caddy for this week, Anna. Also joining the party, fellow American Palmer Jackson and his caddy, Willie.
Nick, what's on the menu tonight?
Tacos and cookies for dessert with a little bit of ice cream. So, should be good. I mean, course played quite difficult. I didn't know what to expect going into the day. After last week's final round, I kind of was fighting some swing things. So to see the ball come off somewhat straight on the first hole of the day, it kind of gave me a sigh of relief. Gentlemen, come get after it. I'll keep heating these up. It's good stuff. Kind of surprised myself there.
So what's the secret to these cookies?
A lot of butter.
After that relaxing evening to unwind, it was soon back to work for the American. And as Friday got underway, there was more of the same for Carlson. A steady stream of pars to start. But after a drop shot on the 4th, he needed a reaction. And after making steady progress to the green on the par 5 6th, Carlson would two-putt his way to a first birdie of the day. But after struggling with the flat stick and making the turn level for the day, Carlson would drop another shot to start the back 9. He was getting worryingly close to the cut line. One delightful approach later, and a birdie at 13 would calm those nerves. Nick's housemate for the week, Palmer Jackson, would fare better on day 2. This birdie on the 6th would help send him top of the leaderboard with Pedro Figueiredo. With no further gains, Carlson was coming down the last, looking to keep it level for the day. But he struggled off the tee on 18, and it wouldn't get any easier. A double bogey to finish, 2 over for the day, 1 over for the tournament, but Carlson would just sneak inside the cut line and make it to the weekend.
Glad it's done. I got 2 more to go. I got a little nervous down the stretch there, especially on 18T. I got a little quick, but happy it's done and happy I get to play 2 more days because you can always play the game and move up the ladder.
Fingers crossed for a good finish then. Plenty of room for improvement over the weekend. Coming up, a trip into the past at the Dutch Futures with a former winner.
It's funny how some weeks like that you just feel like something good is going to happen.
And discover who reigns supreme in the Netherlands. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the HotelPlanner Tour. We're in the Netherlands this week for the Dutch Futures. With the 3rd round to come, Portugal's Pedro Figueiredo leads the way, alongside American Palmer Jackson, both 1 shot clear. Former rankings leader Daniel van Tonder was in the final Group 2, looking to chase down his playing partners, with plenty of others lurking with intent. So an intriguing Saturday lay in store, watched for us by Josh Antman.
Italian Filippo Celli was one of the early pace setters on moving day. Started early in the morning, had 4 birdies and an eagle going out in 30 strokes. Birdied 14 before this delightful wedge, and resulting birdie putt on the next hole sent tied at the top of the leaderboard just as the final group were teeing off. Our featured player this week, Nick Carlson, wrapping up his round with a birdie. 68 for the American, who would move 28 places up the leaderboard and into a share of 29th. Carlson's roommate and winner in the Czech Republic earlier this season, Palmer Jackson, was taking the early lead in the last group. This 40-foot monster birdie putt at the 5th would be his 2nd of the day. Celli, though, would keep up the momentum. After another birdie on 16, he would set up another birdie chance at the par 5 18th hole, coming over that ridge with this eagle effort. Lovely touch from the Italian. Not to be, but the silver medal winner from the 2022 Open would tap in for birdie. A brilliant round from the Italian, carding a 62, which included no bogeys and a whopping 7 birdies. Brilliant stuff. Jackson will keep up his good form on the front 9 with birdies on hole 5 and hole 6, and he will set up another chance with this approach to the 7th. Pin high from the American, plenty watching on Saturday. Jackson would convert for his 3rd birdie in a row. A 3-shot lead for Jackson, but he would go on to make a mess of the 9th, a triple, and followed up with a bogey on 10. 4 under through his first 8 holes, and then 4 over on his next 2. Steady round from Scotland's Ewan Walker, looking for his first win this season. A couple of 3rd place finishes, but yet to find the winner circle. After this brilliant birdie on 17, he would card a 69 and come in at 8 under par, 1 shot shy of the leaders. Palmer Jackson would rally with 2 birdies, but after another drop shot on 17 and this par on 18, he would come in at 8 under par, finishing one off the pace set by Celli.
Yes, a fabulous round from Filippo Celli put the Italian in pole position. He will be joined in the last group by American Chase Hanna and Belgian James Mayer de Becco, both on 8 under, after carding 66ers on an impressive moving day in the Netherlands. It had been 16 years since the Dutch Futures was part of the HotelPlanner Tour schedule. The last time this event was played was back in 2009, with Nicholas Colsaert prevailing, turning on the style with a 4-stroke victory over Andrew MacArthur and Julian Cairn.
It's funny how some weeks like that you just feel like something good is going to happen. You know, Jerome Tunis was also there, and he told me afterwards he knew I was going to have a good week. Sometimes you just don't know why, but you kind of give that impression to people around you. I was playing well, and you know, for us Belgians, when you play in Holland, it's a feel close to home. I mean, there's surroundings that you know extremely well. You know, lowlands, so you know what the ball does. So all in all, it's a week where you don't really have to second guess yourself a lot, and you almost feel like you play at home.
For the Belgian, it was liftoff. His second win that season went a long way towards securing promotion to the DP World Tour.
It's one thing to win your card, but it's just a habit of swallowing the weeks and swallowing the good weeks one week after the other, and just keep that momentum going when you're playing well. I think that's the one thing that I did. I kept the foot down. You can have a lot of movement on tours like that, so you got to make sure that every time you tee it up, you get to squeeze as much as you can out of your weeks. And I've been fortunate enough to play 2 full times on the HotelPlanner now, but yeah, I managed that quite well every time I did.
Colsaert has since won 3 times on the DP World Tour, contended in majors, and even represented Europe in the Ryder Cup. Much of that success was due to the foundations laid on the HotelPlanner Tour. He remains unsurprised at the calibre of golfers rolling off the tour's production line.
I'm impressed of the guys that are at the top. The same way that you will be impressed at the best players in the world. You have those 10, 15 guys at the top that seems to make the difference all the time. And the HotelPlanner Tour is exactly the same. You have these 10 guys that seems to be always there and chase those very valuable spots high up in the ranking. That will get you a few more events when you make it onto the DP the year after.
We're back now to the final round of the Dutch Futures, with Italian Filippo Celli looking to win a maiden HotelPlanner Tour title. But with 4 players breathing down his neck, just a shot behind, it was all to play for on a dramatic final day at the Dutch.
Ian Gillamundagi, winner at the Irish Challenge a couple of weeks ago, was tearing up the course on Sunday. He would sink this birdie putt on the 9th to go out in 31. He'd had 3 more birdies and an eagle to card a 62 to post the joint low round of the week. Overnight leader Celli was staying strong at the top of the leaderboard. Birdies on the 1st and 3rd kept him in front, and on the tricky par 5 6th made this brilliant approach shot. Plenty out watching on the final day, and they were watching on as Celli would make the eagle putt, continuing the impressive form from Saturday, 4 under through his first 6 holes, and he would go 2 clear at the top of the leaderboard. Germany's Hurley Long was charging up the leaderboard on Sunday. A strong front 9 of 31 was backed up by 3 birdies on the back 9, and this approach on 15 would result in another one, and with Celli struggling on the back 9, he would be tied for the lead at this point. Dan Young continued his fine season, and he would finish in style after this approach on 18. Winner of the Scottish Challenge in early August, he would card an impressive 66 and come joint 3rd at 10 under par. Long was 8 under par through 15 holes of his final round, but he couldn't add any more birdies on the last 3 holes, But an incredible round from the German meant he would set the clubhouse lead at 13 under par. After Long's heroics, Celli needed a birdie on one of his last 2 holes to retake top spot. He would give himself a great chance. After this approach here on 17, he birdied the 15th, but he did need some magic coming home, and he found it on the penultimate hole of the tournament. Sunny skies in Holland, and the Italian held his nerve to convert the birdie putt and retake top spot by 1. 2 top 5s in his last 3 events. He was finally looking to get that elusive win. Keeping his cool down the last, Celli would set up a birdie to finish in style. And he holds it to claim a maiden HotelPlanner Tour title. Such an impressive performance from Celli. He only made the cut by 1, but shot 15 under over the weekend to win by 2.
So, confirmation, Filippo Celli, the winner in the Netherlands. Round of the day came from Oyen Guillemondegui with his brilliant 62. Chase Hanna and James Mayer de Becco would join Scotland's Ewan Walker in joint 5th, but scooping the silverware, an impressive Italian.
It's tough now, but I'm very happy. I was waiting this moment since like 3 years ago, so long time, but finally arrived my time, I can say, and I'm very happy. Especially after the first 2 rounds that I made the cut as a 40-something, and then shooting like 15 under in the weekend is very good. I'm very proud.
Let's see how all of that affects the rankings. David Law still ruling the roost, while that win has moved Filippo Celli up 6 places to 3rd. Dan Young also making progress. Ewan Walker has leapt to 11th. Our featured American Nick Carlson sat at 19th. And in what will be eventually a crucial 20th spot is Jonathan Goat Rasmussen. And with congratulations to Filippo Celli, we bid farewell to Dutch soil and head to Swedish terrain as our intrepid contenders contemplate the Dormy Open. So join us next time as the pursuit of promotion to the DP World Tour continues.